Hi, this is Alessio. Hope you're well. In this particular video, I want to take a quick look at this particular chart that is relevant to Ethereum. Now, we haven't talked about Ethereum for quite a while, so I thought I would revisit the chart of Ethereum from a different angle, different perspective. And that's why I want to talk to you about this particular chart you're seeing here and how it could be important and also useful when we talk about Ethereum and what could potentially happen in the next several months for ETH. All right, guys, it should be quite interesting. Join me. All right, guys, welcome back. So I want to begin by looking at this specific chart. And interestingly, the chart I'm going to show you is not Ethereum itself, but it's ETHE, which is an ETF for Ethereum. It's actually the chart of the Ethereum Grayscale Trust. The symbol is ETHE. And the reason I'm looking at this specific chart is because it can offer a specific dimension, a different dimension to the chart of Ethereum, which often gets ignored. So here's what I want to take a look at here. Notice that first of all, ETHE has seen a very strong rally from the low it made in December of last year. We've seen a very powerful, very strong rally, as you can see there. And then from the high it made just recently, from the high about 8.82, it's had a nice retracement. We've seen a nice corrective structure, as you can see there. And to me, this recent drop in the price of ETHE is actually, in my view, a correction. I think the odds and the probabilities are increasing that Ethereum is likely forming a bottoming structure on the chart. Now, even though I think the odds are increasing that Ethereum and ETHE in this case is forming a bottom here, nevertheless, I want to see confirmation, and I want to talk to you about a confirmation in a few minutes. Now, what is interesting though, if we just pull this chart back a little bit, if we zoom out, notice, if we pull this chart back all the way to 2021, the highs we made back in December or November of 2021, notice that trend line, that downward sloping yellow trend line. Now, what is interesting about that is that you can see that clearly we're still in a long-term downtrend. So as far as this particular chart is concerned, going back all the way to the highs we made in 2021, this particular chart, ETHE, is still in a downtrend as far as the last few years are concerned. So what I would like to see is a confirmation that ETHE is bottoming, and that confirmation will come if ETHE, if the Ethereum Grayscale Trust here on this chart can give us a push, a rally, and a close above the highs we made just recently at about 8.82. So if ETHE, if this particular chart can give us a nice rally and push and a close above that important resistance level at 8.82, in other words, the recent highs we made, then that could be a very strong and powerful indication and a higher probability that Ethereum and likely ETHE here is bottoming. So that's what I'm waiting for. We haven't got the confirmation just yet. So in other words, I'm using this particular chart of ETHE here more as a leading indication, more as an extra tool, an extra chart to give us an extra dimension and perhaps a different way of looking at the chart of Ethereum. Now, I should say that my good friend and trader Manuel Bly, who uses what's called a Dow theory model, he prefers Ethereum itself, the actual crypto chart of Ethereum, to move above 1984 before we get a confirmation that Ethereum is bottomed. In other words, for Manuel Bly, he prefers a Dow theory interpretation for the chart of Ethereum, and for him, what would give a confirmation that Ethereum has bottomed would be a move and a close above 1984 on the chart of ETH, in other words, on the chart of Ethereum itself. So that has not happened yet. Now, I know that's a more strict interpretation. You might say that's much more strict, but I think he's also right in saying that, well, if Ethereum itself, if the actual chart of Ethereum gets above 1984, that actually would give a much higher probability that Ethereum is likely forming a bottoming structure and that we could see a continued movement upwards in the next several months towards the end of this year. But if we were to apply a less strict interpretation for Ethereum, then we could look at the chart of the ETHE, in other words, the Ethereum Grayscale Trust. And in other words, I would need to see a breakout. So I personally would prefer to see a breakout above the trend line that you're seeing here, this downtrend line in yellow, and a close above 8.82 to give us a nice confirmation that Ethereum is likely bottomed and we could be starting the next major wave to the upside. Again, that has not yet happened as I'm making this video, but it's something I'm waiting for to see if that actually happens in the next few weeks. And by the way, I do think Ethereum is eventually going higher in the next several weeks and months. All right, guys, make sure you also watch our member videos, because in the member videos, we go into much more detail on the chart of Bitcoin and also the stock markets and gold. And one thing we do in the member videos is we look at the chart of Bitcoin also from an Elliott wave perspective, which is quite important. All right, guys, if you're not a member, you can go ahead and join on that link you see right there. Thank you very much indeed. I hope this video has helped. I look forward to seeing the next video update. Bye for now.